Hi, my name's Pharaoh, and today you find me on my freighter, and I've been experimenting with modules, and partly because this is the experimental branch, and Hello Games have recently increased the potency of many of our modules in experimental, which will be coming to a patch near you soon. But that isn't why I'm here. Now, this is something that was brought to my attention by Alex Van Logan and his friend Sky Cirrus, who made a video about it in the Russian language. And I was quite interested in this, and I thought I'd bring it to you. Now, this is an extension of the rerolling module exploit. And just to clarify, when I say exploit, I don't think that is a word that's synonymous with cheating. It's just taking advantage of an existing system within a game, which you may or may not choose to do. And this is a tip that takes advantage of the system. Now let me show you what I mean. Here we have my exotic in my permadeath save. And I've been upgrading my hyperdrive. And as you can see, for a start, in experimental, some of these hyperdrive ranges are a lot higher than they used to be. The max was 250 and now it's over 260 on all three of these. And I didn't have to roll many modules to get this. So this exploit may not actually even be that necessary if we can just roll our normal rolls. Now, as you can see, I've got 5 here, and I've also got 4 package modules. So for instance, I have taken, let me do it with a different one. I have hit the store technology, and then I've left it here. And these have all been packaged. They were all old modules that I was no longer using either on this ship or another ship. And I've got them stored here because I'm going to make use of them. So here we are, and I've just reloaded because I'm back to where we were. I haven't got any modules stored from here. And I have 4 modules here packaged up. And I have 5 modules in my hyperdrive. And I'm going to install all 5 of these and put them in order in my spaces so I can easily tell which ones were which. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And the first one, 247, well, that would have been high traditionally, but that's not that good now. 239, 243, 221, 262. Now, 262 is pretty good. I don't know what the current max range is. It might be 265. It might be higher. All of these are in the 26. That's a 265, 263, 261. So they're all in the 260 to 265 range. But this one here is 262, and that's better than that one, 261. So I could just swap it out now. But if I didn't want to do that, if I wanted to exploit the system, what I could do is say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was the 5th module I opened. So I will reload so that they're not installed. And then I will install these. So let's do that. So here we are again, and we have no modules installed. And I want the 5th one of these 5. So first of all, I'm going to install these. Now, these stay the same as they always were. So this is one of my old hyperdrives that I didn't keep from the old setup. And 228 obviously is nowhere near as good as some of these newer modules. Oops. But whenever you install them, it does move the counter forward. And for what I mean by that is that I've just installed 4 modules, and we know the 5th one is the one we want. And the 5th one is sure enough 262, which I can then use to replace that one and then store all of these back here. And now I have 4 more modules that I can test, which I would need to do a save just to make sure. And we need to see if any of these 4 are better than my lowest, which is 262. So let's find out. if you're on a controller, it really does feel like they've made it harder to move in inventories. Okay, 222, 221, 221, 245. So none of those are actually better. Let's just see if I've got a few more to test. I think I might have. No, not in here. Yeah, I've got a few stored still. So anyway, the principle would be the same. I would continue with either these modules or, to be honest, any other modules. For instance, if I reload now, so having reloaded, we know that if I was to install all 4 of these, then they would all be lower than my highest, well, sorry, my lowest of my existing modules. So I don't want to do that, but I could just install these instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can see what the next 4 are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 255, 232, 232, 242. So again, none of those match higher, but I now know that the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 modules that I open, if they're hyperdrive, will all be lower than those. So there's no point in installing those if I don't want to, if I wanted to use this exploit. Now, for the purposes of this exercise, I'm using S-class modules, but obviously we could be using X-class modules. And again, they seem to have had a bump. I'm reliably informed that they are now have a maximum of over 300. And you could be re-rolling those. I would always recommend, if you're just playing the game and do want to use a re-roll technique, to re-roll all of your S-classes first, because you can get very high stats with the S-class, and doing the same thing with X-class will take a lot longer because you'll need more of them in order to roll them. Obviously, this is a simpler method because we can now use other modules that we've packaged up in order to push the counter on by 1, but X modules have got such a wide range that you'll need to use a lot more, and the exercise will take a lot longer to maximize using X class. Not to say I haven't occasionally used X class in a similar way. These are some X class hazard protection modules which I was trying to get to 10, which I didn't quite manage yet, and it may be worth experimenting with these to see if they go higher now. I'm not sure, I'm just speculating. So there you go. A new way to min-max your ships if you want to use that particular exploit. I've been Pharaoh, and keep watching for more tips.